Nero, Rome's last emperor, a tale of contradiction. Amid Rome's grandeur, Nero's reign was marked by controversy. A patron of arts and spectacles, yet accused of tyranny and excess, his rule witnessed both triumphs, like rebuilding Rome, and tragedies like the Great Fire. Nero's legacy serves as a reminder of the complexities of power and history's enduring lessons. Baldwin, the leper king of Jerusalem, faced immense suffering, hiding his disfigured face behind a mask and lacking sensation in his right arm. Despite his disabilities, he skillfully rode a horse using only his knees. Upon learning of Saladin's invasion, Baldwin swiftly intercepted him with a small force, surprising Saladin. Holding the relic of the true cross, Baldwin fervently prayed for victory and succeeded in defeating Saladin, who narrowly escaped capture on a camel. However, Saladin's time for revenge came after Baldwin's death. He triumphed over the Crusaders at the Battle of Hattin and conquered Jerusalem. Despite expectations of Christian retaliation, Saladin wisely chose amnesty over bloodshed, famously warning his men against seeking vengeance, stating, "Blood for blood never sleeps." In 480 BCE, Persian King Xerxes, by aim to expand his empire into Greece, met with resistance from a resolute force led by Sparta's King Leonidas. With only 300 Spartans, Leonidas strategically chose Thermopylae's narrow pass as the battleground. Demonstrating unmatched bravery and military tactics, the Spartans formed an impenetrable phalanx, their tightly knit formation and overlapping shields proving formidable against the Persian onslaught. Despite overwhelming odds, the Spartans held their ground, astonishing Xerxes with their resilience. Though eventually outnumbered and falling one by one, the Spartan warriors fought to the last, inflicting heavy casualties on the Persian army and leaving a legacy of valor. Suleiman the Magnificent, also known as Suleiman the Great, was the 10th and longest reigning sultan of the Ottoman Empire, ruling from 1520 until his passing in 1566. Born in 1494 in Trabzon, Turkey, he ascended to the throne after his father's death. During his rule, Suleiman expanded the Ottoman Empire to its peak, extending its territories across Europe, Asia, and Africa. He led several military campaigns, including the conquests of Belgrade and Vienna in 1529. Suleiman implemented legal reforms, issuing the Kanun Osmani legal code, the foundation of Ottoman law for centuries. This system aimed to establish consistency and justice among the diverse populations within the empire. Suleiman's era is often hailed as the golden age of the Ottoman Empire, marked by remarkable expansion, cultural achievements, and stability. The Romans encountered a Mongol-like army when repelling the Huns, a nomadic group adept at horse archery. Despite a fierce battle at the Catalonian fields, the Huns were defeated, though they greatly weakened the Western Empire, contributing to its eventual collapse. Given the Mongols' technological advancements over the Huns and Romans by almost 1,000 years, it's reasonable to assume they would have been even more formidable on the battlefield. The transformation of the Eastern Roman Empire into the Byzantine Empire often perplexes many. Some refer to the empire during Justinian's reign as Byzantine, but this term originated much later. The 16th century historian Hieronymus Wolff coined Byzantine as a derogatory label to undermine the Eastern Roman Empire's legitimacy. Interestingly, historians adopted this term to distinguish the later empire from its earlier Roman roots. However, the Eastern Romans always identified as Romans, not Byzantines. Over time, the empire's culture evolved, with Greek replacing Latin as the official language and changes in customs and organization. This transition occurred gradually over centuries, with Latin still widely spoken during Justinian's era. It wasn't until the reign of Heraclius and later emperors in the 7th century that the term Byzantine Empire began to gain prominence. In 75 BC, Julius Caesar was kidnapped by Cilician pirates who demanded a ransom of 20 talents of silver. Feeling insulted, Caesar insisted they increase it to 50 talents. During his captivity, he showed audacity, forming bonds with the pirates and even joking about having them crucified upon his release. When freed, Caesar kept his word but showed mercy by ordering their throats slit before crucifixion, demonstrating both his resolve and capacity for mercy. The urban legend surrounding the death of Empress Catherine the Great of Russia claims she died while attempting intercourse with her prize stallion after the harness broke, crushing her. However, this story is entirely false and was fabricated by her detractors to tarnish her legacy. While Catherine did have a great love for her horses and led a sexually liberated lifestyle compared to other female royalty, her actual cause of death was a stroke. She was discovered collapsed on the floor of her washroom, not in the midst of any illicit activity. Before the Romans reveled in their perceived invincibility, they confronted a formidable opponent, Pyrrhus, king of Epirus. Leading Greek forces in the Pyrrhic Wars, he achieved wins at Heraclea and Asclepius. However, these victories exacted a heavy toll, decimating his army and dimming his ambitions. Witnessing his soldiers' jubilation, he remarked, "One more victory like this, and we are lost." Thus, the term Pyrrhic victory was born, denoting triumphs with devastating losses. In the 5th century BC, the great king of Persia ruled an empire stretching from Pakistan to Macedonia. Seeking vengeance, King Xerxes set his sights on Greece. But amidst the chaos, Themistocles, a Greek leader, saw an opportunity. Rallying city-states against the common threat, he strategized for unity. As the Persian fleet approached, he plotted to lure them into the narrow straits of Salamis. In the decisive battle that followed, Greek valor prevailed. Despite facing overwhelming odds, they emerged victorious, securing their freedom and changing the course of history. As the dust settled, Themistocles stood proud, knowing their defiance had saved Greece. In the early 3rd century AD, a remarkable figure emerged in the Roman Empire, Emperor Septimius Severus. Hailing from North Africa, he rose to greatness as a warrior and leader. In 208 AD, he received urgent news from Britain's governor about northern threats. Acting swiftly, Severus ordered the construction of the iconic walls of Roman London, shaping the city's landscape for centuries to come. Today, his legacy endures in the heart of London, defining its historic square mile. Yet his presence goes largely unnoticed, even in the British Museum, where a bust of him stands as a silent testament to his African heritage. Severus, a warrior emperor from North Africa, whose influence echoes through time, remains a hidden gem of history. Elite hoplites, the Spartans, renowned for their unyielding phalanx formation, earned the moniker the Impregnable Wall. Surprisingly, they forewent city walls, relying solely on their reputation to deter enemies. Spartan youths endured a rigorous rite, surviving in the wilderness with just a spear to prove their worthiness for the army. Templar Knights, shock troops of the Crusaders, specialized in disrupting enemy lines, embracing martyrdom under the Templar cross. Joining their ranks demanded forsaking worldly desires, severing familial ties indefinitely. Lastly, the samurai, masters of the sword in feudal Japan, faced death with unmatched valor. Their blades symbolized unwavering honor, with failure leading to seppuku, or ritual suicide for redemption. In the heart of the Syrian desert lies Palmyra, an oasis of splendor, led fearlessly by Queen Zenobia, the warrior queen. By 270 AD, she had expanded her empire, daring even to challenge Rome itself. Did you know Zenobia claimed descent from the legendary Cleopatra? Queen of many tongues, she spoke Aramaic, Greek, and Egyptian fluently. Instead of chains, Rome adorned her with jewels upon her capture. With her charisma, Queen Zenobia remains the desert's brightest jewel, her legacy shimmering through time. Roman General Scipio Africanus was hailed as a military genius for his remarkable victory over Hannibal, an equally brilliant commander who had won 24 out of 25 battles against the Romans. Despite the odds stacked against him, Scipio's path to triumph was marked by extraordinary feats. Elected as proconsul at just 24 years old, he defied expectations by not only surviving, but emerging victorious in battles against the Carthaginians in Spain and North Africa. Scipio's ability to inspire and train his troops was unparalleled, enabling him to execute strategic maneuvers and outmaneuver his adversaries, as seen in the Battle of Utica, where the Carthaginians suffered a devastating defeat. Step into the chaotic world of 16th and 17th century Japan, where samurai warlords battled for supremacy. Among them, Tokugawa Ieyasu, a brave warrior, faced constant turmoil. Born in 1543, Tokugawa witnessed the arrival of Europeans and the dawn of firearms. his lineage traced back to Matsudaira Hirotada, a noble lord, and Odai no Kata, his mother. But betrayal lurked in Tokugawa's family. His uncle's defection to the Oda clan sparked a series of events that rocked their world. With his father-in-law's demise, Mizuno Nobumoto's rise to power forged an alliance with the Oda clan, leading to unforeseen consequences. In a shocking turn, Nobuhide's spies uncovered treachery, resulting in the abduction of Hiro's son and thrusting Tokugawa Ieyasu into uncertainty. Did you know that Queen Tomyris of Scythia thwarted Cyrus the Great's ambitions? It all began with Cyrus's proposal for marriage, seeking to expand his empire by uniting with Scythia. Yet, Tomyris saw through his intentions and refused, fearing a takeover. Infuriated, Cyrus resorted to war, leading to a battle where Tomyris' son was slain. Driven by grief and vengeance, Tomyris mobilized her fearless horse warriors to confront the Persians. In a fierce clash, she personally led the charge, resulting in Cyrus's demise and the defense of Scythia's sovereignty. Tomyris' decisive victory resonated throughout history, a testament to her strength and determination in the face of adversity. In 410 AD, King Alaric of the Visigoths shocked the world by sacking Rome, ending centuries of Roman invincibility. Originating from Scandinavia, the Goths clashed with Rome during the 3rd century crisis and gradually integrated into the empire. Tensions rose as Gothic demands for better treatment were ignored, leading to revolts and the catastrophic Battle of Adrianople in 378. Rome's attempts to quell Gothic power backfired, resulting in the sacking of Rome in 410. Alaric's conquest fell short of his ambitions. His death shortly after marked the end of an era. Yet, the Gothic legacy endured, shaping European history with the Visigoths in Hispania and the Ostrogoths in Italy. The Assyrians forged history's largest empire, pioneered professional armies, and excelled in siege warfare. Originating from Ashur, they rose from Sumerian and Akkadian influences to become a dominant force, thriving in trade and political unity under Shamshi-Adad. Despite challenges from Hammurabi's Babylon and others, Assyria endured, learning warfare from Mitanni and establishing a ruthless reputation under Tiglath-Pileser III. However, internal strife and external invasions eventually led to Nineveh's fall and the empire's collapse. Nonetheless, Assyria's cultural legacy persists, a testament to their enduring impact on history. Explore the enigmatic Mithridates VI, king of Pontus, famously known as Mithridates the Great. Beyond his conquests, he's infamous for his bizarre obsession with poison immunity. After his father's arsenic-induced assassination, Mithridates spent 7 years ingesting small doses of various toxins, aiming to develop resistance. Legend has it that he even concocted a universal antidote, which he consumed daily. However, when facing defeat by Pompey of Rome, his immunity thwarted his suicide attempt. Mithridates' paradoxical demise showcases the irony of his lifelong quest for immunity against the very poison that ultimately sealed his fate. In the late 2nd century BC, Rome faced threats from within and without, prompting Gaius Marius to return and steer the Republic through turbulent times. As the Germanic incursions of 113 BC loomed, Marius initiated reforms that revolutionized Rome's military. By welcoming the landless poor into the legions and standardizing equipment, he transformed the army into a formidable force. Yet, these changes also shifted allegiance from the state to military leaders, foreshadowing future power struggles. Marius's strategic vision paved the way for Rome's military dominance, albeit at the expense of internal cohesion. Otto von Bismarck, from 1815 to 1898, orchestrated the unification of numerous German states into the German Empire, earning him the moniker, the Iron Chancellor. Born into an aristocratic family in 1815, Bismarck pursued a career in politics after assisting his father with the family estates. Rising through the ranks, he served as Prussian Prime Minister and orchestrated strategic wars to solidify Prussian power. Through diplomatic maneuvers, he engineered alliances and consolidated a unified German identity. However, his dismissal in 1890 marked the end of his political career. Bismarck's legacy endures as a master architect of German unification and modern diplomacy. Gathered before his warriors, Alexander the Great recounts their epic journey. From their humble beginnings, Philip's conquests transformed them from peasants to rulers. Following in his father's footsteps, Alexander led them across lands and seas, defeating Persian satraps and claiming vast territories. It reminds them of their shared victories, the wounds they've endured, and the honors bestowed upon them, offering to send the wounded and weary home as heroes. It reflects on their collective triumphs. With pride and determination, he bids them farewell, knowing their tales will echo through history, immortalizing their legacy of courage and conquest. In the harsh steppes of Mongolia, Temujin, born in 1162, endured early tragedy when his father was poisoned. Abandoned by his tribe, he rose to leadership, forging alliances and overcoming adversaries. Through strife and triumph, he honed his skills, eventually defeating his rival Jamuka and uniting the Mongols under his banner as Genghis Khan in 1206. With strategic brilliance, he expanded his empire, fostering a society of meritocracy and religious tolerance. Despite his ruthless reputation, Genghis Khan's legacy extends beyond conquest, shaping civilizations and leaving an indelible mark on history, resonating through the ages.